Today, Steven...
And in that melody comes something.
He says he got his ear for music from his father, a classical pianist.
I was brought up under the piano. I grew up one just like this.
Sí, es que mira
The
por el front door.
Steinway Bee in the Bronx.
And you love words. You love words from a very early age.
My grandfather had all these books, you know, just with delicious little tidbits of, this is the earliest I've ever been late. And the things that come to those that wait, maybe the things left by those that got there first.
But as he writes in his new memoir, perhaps the most influential and tumultuous relationship of Tyler's life has been with Aerosmith lead guitarist Joe Perry. The two were nicknamed the Toxic Twins for their drug-fueled battles on stage and off.
Here's what you write in the book about Joe Perry. We're polar twins. We're total opposites. Joe's cool. Freon runs in his veins. I'm hot, hot-blooded, shooting off my mouth. Joe's a creep. I'm an You mean that in the nicest way, I would imagine.
I don't mean that in the bad way.
Is it fair to say that you two have spent as much time fighting over the course of your time together as loving each other?
Well, you see, he plays guitar, so he plays it in such a way where I'm addicted to it. He's Aerosmith. He goes, you know, did-do-do, big-do, did-do, and I still love it and never love each other. So it's the magic. When am I going to fight it?
You write in the book about LSD, and this is not the drug.
No.
No, LSD is...
Lead singer disorder.
And you had it, right?
Well, I think we all do as lead singers, right? I mean, we front the band.
Yeah.
So therefore, why don't they listen to us? We know everything.
Yeah, big ego.
Yeah, of course.
Tough to work with.
Yep.
Made trouble when you could have made peace.
Yep. Because all my life, being a big mouth, being a type A personality,
right,
always stopping people going, no, wait, you gotta hear this, let me finish. Stop, slow down. Now I do that for myself.
But while Tyler was busy fighting, touring, and abusing drugs with his band, he says he missed out on the childhoods of his two oldest daughters, Mia and Liv. In fact, Liv spent the first dozen or so years of her life not knowing that Tyler was her biological dad.
Rate yourself as a dad to your older children. Mia, Liv, you have a complicated relationship there.
Very complicated. I did get sober in '88, and I stayed sober for 12 years. And in that time, I got to see, really, how I wasn't there for Mia, and wasn't there for Liv. And it broke my heart. I cried like a baby. And it was some years later where I said to Liv, I said, I'm so sorry for not being there when you were a baby. And she was the first one to say, Daddy, it's so all right, you're here now. And now I know I got a daddy.
You write about this in the book. Drugs robbed me of my spirituality and compassion, only later to find out I'd lost Liv and Mia as well. I cried when they forgave me for my past behaviors, but I'll be working on it for the rest of my life.
That's what drugs did. That's what it did. And it took my children away, took my life away, took my band away, took my marriages away, and I was on my knees.
During Tyler's clean and sober years, he had two more children, Chelsea and Taj. And Aerosmith scored their biggest hit ever with a song from the movie Armageddon, starring daughter Liv.
I could stay awake just to hear you breathing.
But beginning in 1999, he suffered a series of health problems and found himself addicted to prescription drugs.
I was reading the book and I was thinking, Stephen, that there was a time in your life where you weren't the victim of yourself, you were the victim of some bad luck. You'd been clean and sober for 12 years.
Yeah.
And then you started to have some surgeries. I think you had throat surgery and back surgery. Your feet were giving you problems. And here came the prescription drugs. Did you find, in some ways, prescription drugs harder to kick than the drugs, the more recreational drugs you were doing back with the band in the 60s, 70s, and 80s?
Well, let's put it this way. To go out on the street or send somebody out to get a bundle of heroin or some cocaine, it's just exhausting. But a doctor, hell, I know 1,000 of them. I had to delete them all from my cell phone. It's so easy to get them in for whatever ailment.
Tyler has admitted that he was high in 2009 when he fell during a concert in South Dakota. The video was on YouTube in a heartbeat, and Aerosmith was back in the news for all the wrong reasons.
And the stage was wet, and I went choo-choo. My zig when I should have zagged went off and fell on my head. And that took me down.
That episode, 2009, really upset you, didn't it?
Well, it did in the sense that because I was taking these drugs, the band didn't call me. No one called. I mean, Joey Kramer called.
They didn't call you because they were mad that you were using prescription drugs?
Probably they were angry.
Have you considered that they were a little embarrassed, Stephen? That in some ways when you went off that stage, it took the whole band down a little bit?
Oh, of course. And I almost agree to the point of, I get that they were angry. I get the, I fell, and it's nothing any of them haven't done. It's just that, down in the front, man, I fell off. I was high. I owned it.
But it hurt you that they didn't call.
It really hurt me.
The band was talking about replacing Tyler. Tyler was looking for a new gig.
Coming up.
How did you end up on one of the most popular shows on television?
Idle Chatter.